Are we taping?
Yes, we're taping.
Thanksgiving just passed. How was your Thanksgiving, Miss Tara?
Oh, so great.
Was it all that you dreamed and
All
hoped
that I
it would
dreamed
be?
of and more, yes.
So welcome back to another episode of The Unlikely Podcasters. I'm Sunshine.
I'm Susanna.
I'm Tara.
And since we are in the throes of the holiday season,
The throes.
The throws.
we thought it would be perfect timing to talk about holiday traditions and all the bullshittery that we do.
Holiday bullshittery.
It's
Listen,
fantastic.
it's a lot.
But listen,
I'm listening.
we're gonna get to it.
I can't wait.
So wait, let me ask.
Mm.
You don't like any of the traditions. If it were up to you, you would just sit at home and pick your fucking nose on every holiday and maybe exchange some gifts on Christmas. That would be your preference.
Sometimes, yes.
No, not sometimes. I'm saying as a tradition, that would be how
I'm
your
saying
life
that
would live.
I'm multifaceted, Sunshine. I'm
Are
not
you?
just one thing.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Sometimes it's okay to do the painting. I do not like the gingerbread house making.
I'm talking about
Fucking
all the
scam.
holidays.
But we don't really do. What other traditions do we have for other holidays other than on Thanksgiving? We go to Thanksgiving. There's not like other than the fucking pumpkins.
Answer the motherfucking question.
I'm trying, and
The
you
question
interrupted
was
me.
no. You said what other traditions are there? Answer the question. The question is, would you prefer to sit your little happy ass
Divorce.
at home
That's my holiday.
and pick your
tradition.
nose and just exchange gifts
the
every
answer
once
is
in a while?
sometimes. Yes, that's the answer. Sometimes I don't want to do all the bullshit before. Just do fucking Christmas Eve, go to the Christmas Day dinner, and move on about our lives. Sometimes I'm okay with the painting if it doesn't last until like 14 hours long.
And what about Easter? And what about 4th of July?
4th of July is you're just going over to somebody's house and having a barbecue.
True.
Yeah.
There's no preamble to 4th of
Might be.
July.
Susanna, do you like the traditions?
It's holly fucking jolly around here.
Yeah, real fucking jolly. Since you a moment ago said it was a lot. That
Well, sometimes
alludes
I
to
feel
that
like-
you're not a fan.
No.
It doesn't mean it's not a lot. Christmas Eve is a lot.
It's not that I don't enjoy it. And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that was, once it's over, you're like, but the build up to, it gets a little hectic, especially, the way we do things. It just seems like a lot. And then there's stockings, right? So that's a whole thing. Bane of Tara's existence, the stockings.
She doesn't barely do anything for the stocking.
Listen, these two go out and find little knick-knack shits, and I try. I go to the knick-knack. Yes, I go to the dollar aisle in Target and to this travel aisle, and I never see whatever it is that you guys see. Or if I see it, it doesn't register to me. So I just buy more expensive items and put them in the stocking. Which, I mean, I'm fine with that too. If I'm not supposed to go the other way around. Because I like a lot of candy.
Yeah.
You don't like a lot of candy. So you could, my stocking, I'm a diabetic for a good month after Christmas. And so I have to find other things.
That's the only one she does, people.
Yeah.
There's 15 stockings
Unfortunately
we
for
do.
Susanna, otherwise she would get high ticket items in her stocking.
I do all of the stockings. The only stocking she's in charge of is mine.
Yeah.
That is it.
And that's for the best of everyone. God knows what you get in your stockings.
Yeah, really.
Well,
It's
it's
probably
the best for your pocketbook.
There's
Yes.
some condoms. There's a tampon.
We've actually had, so in general, actually, let me say, traditions, Tara doesn't have the affection for traditions that I or Susanna have.
Right.
So in general, I didn't appreciate my family traditions until I was an adult. But I am so thankful we had yearly traditions in my family. You had yearly traditions and you could give two shits that you had the yearly traditions. And my thought is I want Asher to grow up with the same, Asher, Darcy, and the other one. I don't know. Do we ever say her name?
No.
Okay, well.
The one who
Asher,
shall not be spoken of.
Yeah, the other one. I want them to have the same fond memories when they get older and then carry on those. And
I have those fond memories.
you don't want that for your kid?
Sure. But there was no preamble. Like to me, there was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. There wasn't all the bullshittery before Christmas Eve. And I have fine memories of that.
It wasn't.
I didn't need to paint 800 paintings. By the
It
time
wasn't a
we're
thing back
old, we're
then.
gonna have we could
We're
do a
gonna have a
gallery
whole-
of our shitty Christmas paintings.
We could. The whole front living room.
And then we added on the horribleness of the gingerbread making house. They never stand up. You end up covered in sticky goo. And my house fell apart within 4 seconds after it.
Well, her house is always like a murder house.
That's not true. It was a whorehouse one time.
You had a crack den.
I had a crack house.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. These are her traditions. So
Which the kids find hilarious.
Yes, they do.
The rest of us are
I'm
like,
making memories for the children.
Yeah.
Remember when Aunt Sarah made a crack house?
And now you want to nix it.
Yes. It's
'Cause
not
you're
worth
dumb.
it. They got it. They have a memory. Hold on to it
The
tight,
little one
kids.
doesn't have a memory of it.
Listen, I got her a fine gift this year. She can cherish that for years to come.
So I like the traditions.
I know.
And if you can believe it, well, so we've been in this throuple for 100 years, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
three of us, the throuple
Approximately
we have.
100, yes, yes.
And so when I joined your family, Tara,
Yes.
I was happy to see that you had a lot of the same traditions that my family had, because for some time I was living, my dad's side of the family had all of the traditions. My mother's side of the family did not, or that I remember, they weren't there. And so then when you and I met, begrudgingly, your family allowed me to join your traditions. And then,
thanks for paving the way.
right? Exactly. And then Susanna got swept right in there, nice and
I was
easy.
like-
You dug the tunnel, Susanna walked right in.
Yes, she did, that bitch. And then once your aunt passed away, Susanna took the throne of our Thanksgiving tradition. And so
Yes.
that's been 10 years.
And usually Christmas Day, Susanna will do.
So I've been doing Christmas since 2007, or we've been doing Christmas.
No.
Oh, no, because your mother did it the first year.
My mother did the first year, and she said, I can't take this.
Yes.
And then from then on, it was at our house, Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is when we do most of the present opening
Yes, in our group
and all
is
the
Christmas
hoopla
Eve.
is Christmas Eve, yeah.
I still hold presents back for Christmas morning.
For her immediate family. So
Yeah.
her spouse and her
Yes.
child.
Which
They
Sunshine
exchange-
hates.
Yes.
Because she wants to see all the
Well,
gifts.
my aunt did that too. Like,
Yes.
even though we did for stuff for her kids and between their family, they would do it Christmas morning. We never did that. And everything for us was Christmas Eve.
See, now you're jumping. We
I'm
didn't
so
get
sorry.
through Thanksgiving first. We just passed Thanksgiving. Let's get through Thanksgiving, people.
Okay.
So Susanna's taken over Thanksgiving.
I have.
She did, yes. Mm-hmm.
And the only time that she didn't since 2014, when this bitch moved away, the first year we all came to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think there were 2 years that I had to do my own Thanksgiving.
You did.
I'm not good at it. So anyway, I did Thanksgiving, and it's not my favorite holiday. I don't really, growing up, I really enjoyed Thanksgiving because I went to my dad's sister's house, my aunt, and they had a whole bunch of Armenian food, and I loved every second of it. But she did some American food and a lot of Armenian food, and I loved it. I never really got into turkey stuffing, all that bullshit. What'd you do as a kid?
From the Mexican side, I don't know that we do Thanksgiving. I'm not sure about that. Because it was always like my dad driven thing. So
Mm.
we might have it. Or as I like to say, sometimes we were in a border town. So those tend to assimilate more holidays between the two.
Mm.
It's an American holiday.
Yeah.
So if we do do it in parts of Mexico, it's because we've absorbed it, or it's those border town type
Yeah.
scenarios. So yeah, it was always that, or we were at my grandfather's house, my dad's dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always, when we lived near him, those holidays were at his house.
Mm.
We didn't have any, like, everybody go around the table and say thanks. No, we didn't do that.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
It was just about family and getting together.
Yeah,
And that was
same.
times when I saw my cousins.
Exactly.
That was what we did.
So growing up, did you always go to your aunt's, or did your grandmother have it? Because your mother was never a holidayer.
Prior to the Great Family Split of 1995, my grandmother's sister always had Thanksgiving. So we would go to their house. So it was a large...
A
'cause
great
she had-
family split.
Between...
It sounded like you
Okay.
said spit.
It said
No,
split.
split. No,
Okay.
yeah. There
And I was like-
my grandmother and her sister, they were the ones that lived in Florida. And we always did everything together. Birthday, we saw them all the time. And then there was a big to-do, and then we no longer mingled.
And that's when I first
You went one time for Christmas to there.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was the first and the last time I ever went to one of those.
Correct. Yeah. So after the split, then my aunt, my mother's sister, took over Thanksgiving.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But we always went. We did Christmas
Eve at the Nana's. No,
We did
'cause you went
both.
yeah.
When I was little, we would do Christmas Eve at my grandmother's house. All of them would come over. We would give our gifts to them and then to each other, like from my mother to me. And then at like 11 o'clock, we would get in the car and go to my aunt's house, grandmother's sister. And then they would give us our gifts and then all their gifts to them. And that's how that went.
Wow.
And then when I
See, you talk about us. Listen to this bullshit.
And then when I got home, because I am Terra Pie Superstar, Santa always came to my house first. So that's why when I got home from there, my Santa gifts were already there. I didn't have to wake up in the morning and get them. I got them at like
night.
1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning when we got home from their house.
Did you even sleep?
No.
After gifts.
So that's what it was for the longest time.
Here you are skipping holidays again. We're going back to Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Did either of you ever do the wishbone?
yeah, sometimes
Yes,
we would.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a tradition. It was just
Oh.
like if she said, hey, it's wishbone, whenever we want it. Okay.
We did the wishbone every year at
Oh,
my aunt's
yeah,
house.
It wasn't a big.
Listen, my mom
It was
would
hit or
do it.
miss.
She sometimes like would.
She may have thought it was voodoo.
No,
voodoo,
she did not
turkey
think it was
voodoo,
voodoo.
whatever it is. I don't know.
Like she, 1 year, I don't know why she pulled it out. I clearly remember this. I don't know why she did this. She had the wishbone. She pulled it out and like she cleaned it and she put like nail polish on it. It was like this pretty little,
Oh my.
but I don't know why. Because eventually it was usually her or my dad or one of the, we
Yeah.
would pull it and you made a wish, whatever.
Maybe we should do that next year.
No,
No.
shut
I
up.
like it. I like
Idiot.
it. Put a little
Yes.
hair on it. All right.
Yes.
So then we move on to Christmas, which you
Well, I already told you
we
about
keep
my
jumping
Christmas.
to.
Yes.
Yes. So growing
Okay.
up for us, Christmas Eve was a thing at my grandmother. So my aunt always did Thanksgiving. My grandmother had Christmas Eve. And so we always had Christmas Eve. But the one difference is we had Christmas Eve with them and everybody came over. But then we would still drive home that night and have Santa Christmas on Christmas Day, do all of that crap. So we still separated. Whereas as adults with Asher, we did do Santa presents on Christmas Day,
Right.
but that's it. Just
Santa.
Santa.
See, we never did Christmas Eve.
But when
It
did
was
you
always
exchange
Christmas
gifts
Day. Christmas
with
Day.
everybody?
Mm.
Christmas Day.
And so would you go to other people's houses? Or they
No.
would come to yours?
No. It was
Mm.
just us. It was just a family.
Would Santa come?
Yes. Yes, there was always something from Santa under the tree. Or I think everything was from Santa.
And were they wrapped or unwrapped?
They were all wrapped for them, unless they
Yes.
were like
See, ours
really
were
big.
always unwrapped. And she's like, well, I'm going to wrap the Santa. I'm like, why would Santa want to wrap his, he just puts them under. So then we had to wrap them.
And it was in different wrapping paper.
Like, who cares?
You ruin the surprise if you just throw unwrapped presents under the tree.
No, it didn't ruin the surprise at all.
Yes, it did.
It took you a minute to look at everything, but it didn't hinder my joy
Yes, it
because
did.
they were unwrapped.
Yes, you're dumb.
Yeah. The only thing that was unwrapped were like the really big ones. If there was a
Well,
bike,
yeah.
obviously it just had a bow. But
And so when did you realize there wasn't a Santa?
I don't know. I don't
know.
remember. It may have been, I think it was, I had lost a tooth. And when I woke up, there was nothing under my pillow. So I went to my mother. I said, hey, I got a tooth here. I got no money. And her face was like, and then she told me that there was no tooth fairy. I
Mm.
think it was then I was like, and Santa? And I think she was like, yeah, it's not really.
the jig is up.
The jig is up. Yeah.
I don't know how I knew. I don't recall, but I remember being 12. My real mother asked me, do you believe in Santa? And I'm like, no. And she was aghast.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, who told you? I really don't know.
Kids were talking about it at least by 10 or so. Like Asher, I think around 9 or 10. It was
he started
like
asking
people
questions.
were saying Santa wasn't real. And
Well, then he knew because,
yeah, something tipped him off.
yeah, some sort of Amazon situation.
It was some sort of gift that he knew was purchased and then he didn't get it.
But Santa brought
But then
it.
Santa brought it. So then he was like, okay.
Okay.
That
And
boy's
then-
so
I
too
figured
smart.
this out.
Yeah. So he's like, that's how I know. But
But I
I
think
still
he kinda
believe in the
kept it.
Christmas spirit. And so that's what I would go with him. Because when he would always ask, do you believe in Santa? And I'm like, of course I do. And I said, do you? And he would say yes or no, blah, blah, blah. But then once he realized there was no Santa, I still like the Christmas spirit. I like all the things around Christmas. She's so dumb. Do you believe in this Christmas spirit, Susanna? And you never really talked about Santa with Darcy.
No,
like
we
she's
didn't.
always, even though like, I don't know, at one point she did believe and then she didn't, but it wasn't because of you.
At one point she believed in unicorns because she really wanted a unicorn, but she knew they weren't real. That was just a thing. Like maybe if I believe it hard enough, I'll get a unicorn.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing with Santa. I think she held on to that because I don't know if she got it in her mind that if she said she didn't believe, she wouldn't get the gifts. But we never like really reinforced there's Santa. No, these gifts are from me. I'm just kidding.
Fuck Santa.
And so every year, which Tara ruins all of the things that feel warm and fuzzy to me.
I just ruined your whole life.
You
whole
ruin
Christmas
all
spirit.
you've ruined traditions. You want to take them all away. So when I was a kid, we always went Christmas light watching. Tara doesn't like that.
Christmas light watching.
Go and drive through the neighborhoods, looking at lights. That's not her thing. She poo-poos it every freaking time.
Listen, you're free to travel the world
I'm well
looking
aware.
at Christmas lights.
Yeah. Well, you poo-poo it. And what else? Parades. I like going to the parades.
Like parades.
Actually, no. I mean, Tara don't like the parades. And then a tradition that I started.
Yes.
So when paint night was a thing, well, it still is a thing.
Yeah.
Paint and wine.
But all the rage when it first came out. It was the hot thing.
And so the first 2 years we went and paid for it and we did whatever. And then I was like, you know what? We can figure this shit out at home.
Mm-hmm.
So then ever since then, every year we do a paint night where originally it was supposed to be the same painting, but everybody's got to fuck that shit up. And I don't want to do that.
Everyone is an individual.
I don't want to do that. The whole point is that we all paint the same thing and look how different everybody's
The whole point is being together.
Oh.
Now who's poo-pooing on the Christmas spirit?
So then it moved on to we will do the top 4 paintings. So I send out a list every year to all the participants. So we've been doing that. And I think when I was just putting up the paintings.
We're going to run out of room.
Oh, we're already out of room.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to 2016 or 17, which is a very long time.
It is a very long time. And I'm fine with the painting.
And I think everybody likes the
It's
tradition.
fine. But then you want to add more. So then we added the gingerbread houses.
Gingerbread /cookies/Christmas craft.
Yes, the crafting.
The crafting.
That she doesn't participate in.
Crafts like they are aspiring to be Martha Stewart. It's 7 hours long and they're putting every little dot and every little. So if it was just the painting, fine.
It's a separate thing. So it originally started when the Tykes, we were doing Christmas crafts for the Tykes. It was only for the children. Then Susanna left us. And so I did Christmas crafts with Asher's friends. And then Susanna graced us with her presence again. And we started it again. But
now it's not just for the Tykes.
Now it's not for the Tykes.
Now it's everybody.
I truly enjoy it. I like it. I love the little Christmas blocks we did.
Oh, yeah. Even though I haven't used them yet.
Oh, I did. Mine are out right now.
And then we made square pumpkins. No, I'm sorry. Rectangle pumpkins.
No. I made those by myself.
Yeah, that was
this is what Tara wanted to do because she didn't want to do the craft. So she took a little square, she painted it and made it smoke a joint or something. I don't know what. Like, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's some sort of gangster little block. I must get her to put a picture. You see her little gangster block. Yeah, and I don't know why you decided to do that, but you did.
Listen, I think that I don't like to do any of it. So if I'm willing to go along with your bullshittery, just give me the no gingerbread houses. Just throw me a bone, lady.
I think we'll see. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We'll stay tuned.
Something may or may not happen to those gingerbread houses if they enter the
But we
house.
do have a lot of traditions around the house, but it's only really this
Christmas.
time of year, right? We do pumpkin carving.
Yes. And now it's morphed into paint. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Our pumpkin carving /painting went very smoothly.
That's because most people painted.
Doesn't matter. So if we have figured out the tactics on how we can get through this, the littlest can do her gingerbread house. Bree, it'll take 10 years to do her shit too. Because she's never done a gingerbread house. So look, we can't rip that from her poor little tiny hands.
She's 40 years old. I can rip it right out of them.
Yeah, I think the kids like it.
They do.
And you're really doing it for the kids. Well, the
Are we
crafting,
really, though.
Yes,
Let's be honest with us. Let's look deep inside and say, are we really doing at this
yes,
point?
I do.
I don't
Just like
think
I
so.
said, I did not appreciate my family traditions until I became an adult. And now I look very fondly on them. And so I want that for our children. And
Their
Asher
togetherness, I think, is
truly
really
loves the togetherness.
That's what I'm saying. We could just get together. I think he would rather us get together, have some wine, and gossip, because that's what
true.
he really likes. He likes to sit like an old yenta in the corner and listen to the gossip.
Listen, I was Asher at his age. I
was
totally
too.
get it. I
100%
love being in
was.
the room with the adults and just listening to all the
Chit-chat.
drama.
Yeah. So even if painting or not painting, as long as we're there kibitzing, he's good with it.
But also a tradition is like I treat Christmas shopping like a freaking sport.
It is a sport.
I try to find like the best deal
Mhm.
where it would look like, whatever. I look at the Black Friday deals. I look at Cyber Monday deals. I follow these couponers on Facebook and try to get the best deal. And I really like that part.
I do too. I also like to pretend I'm Oprah because I inevitably find the one gift that I think is fabulous and then I want to get it for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get one and you get one and you get one.
Yeah. So New Year's, we don't really have a tradition.
No, we just come.
But we
now
do.
Well,
here,
here we do. You're right. So here we have a tradition. We all come here. We might play rock band,
drink.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
When I was
But-
little, we went to the aunt
Italian?
where we stopped talking to.
Oh.
When I was little, we would always go to her house for New Year's Eve, and then we would always go outside, bang pots of pans.
Yes,
It's
we
New
did the
Year.
pots and pans too.
Yeah.
Never? I'm surprised your dad didn't, because that was a thing back then when we were
Mhm.
kids. Everybody did it.
Nope.
But I never had a tradition for New Year. It was whatever was happening that year.
The adults drank, we hung around and played countdown at midnight, and then that was pretty much it.
As long as I can remember, I've always stayed up.
Yeah, I did too.
Always.
Yeah.
Because there are
If I
plenty of
could.
people that just go to bed.
Yeah.
And I've always stayed up to midnight.
Yeah.
And then for Valentine's Day,
We used to do stuff, now we don't do anything.
Yeah.
We just act like this and exist. We
Yeah.
don't love each other.
well, then it became about Asher.
Yes.
And we get balloons and candy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So even to this day, I get stuff for the kids on Valentine's Day.
You do.
All right, friends, share with us your traditions, what you do. Maybe we'll incorporate something.
Or not.
We'll let you know what we do this year. But share, like, subscribe.
There you go.
Peace out, bitches.
Adios.
Bye-bye.